All right, it's 9:01. It's called the Blanco County Commissioners Board to order this Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, and ask Ms. Wall to call the roll.
Judge Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Weir.
Here.
Commissioner Hooker.
Here.
Commissioner Lisa.
Here.
Commissioner Riley.
Here. Please join us in pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to Texas. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for the invocation. Loving God, help us feel connected to you so that you may use us where you have placed us. Help us draw close so that we may see with your eyes, hear with your ears, and think with your mind, because you are a just God, and justice is a part of living. We ask for your protection, protecting hand, to extend and cover each person you have chosen to serve this community. May our decisions we make today be for the betterment of this community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Before getting to item one, I wanted to mention to you that I'm going to be placing on the next agenda an item for your deliberation. I just got it this morning from the architect, and I shared it with Ms. Swift, but he's wanting us to pick a color for the roof and cupola, and it seems obvious to me, and he already has his preference, but as I was thinking, I think it's a court decision, so I'll have that on the next agenda for you also. Be prepared to have your designer hats on. Okay, item one on the agenda is the minutes.
I'll move to dispense with reading of the minutes and approval as presented.
Is there a second?
And I'll second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item two is payroll.
Make a motion to approve the estimated August 2025 payroll in the amount of $911,156.51.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Riley, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item three, official reports, and they are all in, subject to your inspection and open for your approval.
I move to approve the official reports for July 2025.
Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Riley, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item four, there are two line item transfers for your ratification, if you so choose.
I move to approve line item transfer as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Weir, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item five, bills.
Make a motion to ratify the bills in the amount of $63,382.61 and approve the outstanding bills in the amount of $325,725.95.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Today, we have the pleasure of having a presentation by Mr. Fisher and Charles Simon, with CAPCOG regarding the Regional Transportation Safety Plan and Um, If I remember, if my memory's at least good enough for a month, this is pretty important for Blanco County and possibly advantageous for Blanco County.
Oh, definitely will be, Judge. Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners. Charles Simon, I am Director of Regional Planning and Services for CapCog. And as you know, CapCog enjoys a relationship with Blanco County in many different program areas. And in the Division of Regional Services and Planning alone, we have programs of air quality, solid waste, criminal justice, economic development, GIS, and transportation. So this morning, we're here before you to speak about what we're doing, the project that we're doing in our transportation program, excuse me. And with me is Simon Fichter, CapCog's transportation planner. Now our transportation program is we do through an agreement with the Austin District of TxDOT. And so that applies to our entire 10-county area. Now, most of those counties, 6 of the counties in the CapCog area are within the Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, CAMPO, which does a great deal of transportation planning. And there in the hierarchy of transportation planning in the United States, the MPOs are on a pretty high level of that, where they receive their dedicated amount of funding. It comes down for the US government and they will just spend it within their areas. The counties and the areas that are not within those MPOs, they don't get the benefit of having those dedicated programs and dedicated funding. So effectively for transportation projects, they're competing with not only other counties and areas in Texas, but also nationwide for funding for projects, et cetera. So it comes down to CapCog doing these transportation programs. We do serve our entire 10-county area, but we do want to focus more on providing benefits to the counties that are not within that CAMPO area. And so for us, by virtue of that and by virtue of our contract with TxDOT, that comes down to 3 counties that where we can do that, where we try to focus that type of work on, and that's Llano, Lee, and Blanco counties. Just several months ago, we became aware of a program from the U.S. Department of Transportation called Safe Streets and Roads for All that was providing funding to do certain studies and other projects as well that could benefit the areas. And we intended to apply for a grant for that, but for certain reasons, we were not able to go through the full grant, but we felt the benefit was great, especially to Blanco County. So we still wanted to go ahead and perform the project. So we are going to do it, and we're going to do it all in-house. And we do plan to accomplish this over the next couple of months. We are still looking to do the full project, possibly over making an application next year, and are working toward that. But we do still plan to go forward with the reduced scope project over the next couple of months. And I'll turn it over to Simon right now, and he'll tell you a little bit more about the project and what it's going to involve and what the benefit of it will be.
Thank you, Charles. So I know Charles introduced me, but I'm Simon Fichter, a transportation planner at CapCog. And the biggest issue that we're really talking about is in our entire region, Blanco County has the highest rate of serious and fatal crashes. It's about 5 times the average of the rest of our region. So there are serious problems, especially on those rural roads, of very high crash rates, very high death rates. And what we're really proposing to do with this project, what we're going to do is not only identify those most high-risk corridors and high-risk intersections, and begin to propose some pre-engineering work to be able to actually get engineering costs done, which then in the future qualifies you for grants. And Blanco County would, if we had been able to get this grant, that work can actually get very achievable funding to be able to get to improve those intersections. Through our contact with TxDOT, they want us to be able to help you get project shovel ready. So what we're really doing a lot of on our end is we're identifying those areas from data TxDOT has and also local data, talking to drivers and people who use it a lot, especially trucking companies and things along those lines. As we get further along this, we would also like your input, maybe just say one of our members who might be on CARTPO, which is the Capital Area Rural Transportation Organization in CapCog that we manage, and have several of your commissioners are on that committee. So yes, what we will have, it's nothing that we need from you. We were going to make a report to make these recommendations, which can assist you with further grant funding. But there's nothing from you that we need from you. We just wanted to make you notified and be aware of what we're doing, so you're not surprised by anything. And if you have priorities or things that you think are a particular concern, one issue that we have with safety is a lot of times, especially in more rural areas, an area might not have had a bad crash yet, but there's the possibility of that. So if you have those concerns or things like that that you would like us to focus on, like me to focus on while doing this, reach out to me. and business cards I can leave behind for us to prioritize that. So some of the intersections we've talked about, Blanco County, we displayed some of our photos. We spoke to the Capcog Executive Committee about this. And I think you all know some of those intersections that you're aware of as being not the best designed, some could say, through the state road system, and to have some new designs could help with that. Do you have any questions?
Sure.
Yeah.
Your data about us, Blanco County being, I guess, the worst in the Capcog region. I assume that data, has, I'm not saying it's old, but it probably isn't as up to date as last weekend or last month.
No, that the most recent data we have is from 2024. But in our entire combination of years, we only have data for the past 10 years on crash severity. Of all of our counties over the past 10 years, Blanco County in 2024 had the worst year by over 50% of anywhere seen.
I only ask that because, I'm not trying to criticize you or anything. I'm just, there's some stuff that has happened along 281 and some of the other state roads in recent memory that I think people are holding on to. And so this is of interest to everyone. In fact, I don't know if Charles has anything to comment or you have anything to comment, but I asked the lady with the newspaper to get in touch with you all because this is of interest to Blanco County. Have you heard anything?
I have not heard anything from her, no.
Okay.
Not heard from her yet, Judge. I'd be glad to reach out to her if you'd like to make a connection. We certainly have a lot to tell here, so I'm glad to do that. Yeah.
How does a commissioner, does a commissioner individually benefit? Does their precinct benefit from this?
Yes, so what we're trying to do, the way we're focusing on this, what we're going to recommend, we're going to split it out equally. So through all precincts, what we're going to do is we're going to identify those areas that have the highest risk, not just the areas from where crashes have been, but from our modeling where crashes are likely to happen in the future. So we'll spread that out equally. It won't just be like, oh, one section of the county, it'll be spread throughout equally. And we're also doing this in Llano and Lee counties as well.
Do they ultimately get money?
And through this project we're doing, we were not able to get funding for that. But in the future, our goal is to use this work to then apply for funding so that you would be able to use money. Yes.
So even at the county level, not necessarily TxDOT.
Not correct. Yeah.
So I mentioned how we were planning on applying for the grant from USDOT first, but not the result of that would have been we would have had engineered intersections and improvements, whatever safety improvement that we identified for the location, we'd be able to have some engineered work to where you could have something, we and you could have a project on the shelf. So whenever funding came up for a project, you already have the work to do on it. Just as a matter of getting the funding for it. So we want to be that close and have, if you want to call it shovel ready, that's where we want to get. So we're going to get, with this project, we're going to get closer to that. We're not going to be quite that far, but next year we hope to apply for the grant again and actually get those engineered projects done to where it's a matter of applying for funding to build them. I'm sure the commissioners have questions.
Yes, which way y'all going back to Austin?
I think we're not quite sure we're taking 290 back, or
The way here wasn't as fun as it used to be.
Well, I got a scenic route for you. Take 2766 to the park. Then take
Park Road.
Park Road and pull
Road.
into the backside of Dripping Springs. And you'll see one of my projects. I've already got the engineering on it. Have had for 2 years, but we just can't get the funding. We just don't fall in the category that we qualify for.
yeah, we're very aware of that issue. There is a dearth of funding right now for transportation projects. There should be more coming up in the next few months, but I completely understand that.
I'd like to be able to see that. What we're going after.
Commissioners?
Y'all had, one of our earlier, CARPO meetings, y'all had a gentleman there, I believe from TxDOT, that had some software that showed in real time, if I'm not mistaken, the congestion in different areas. We were able to look up a highway intersection and see how much it was backed up. Do you remember that?
That was probably some information I was showing with, there was a, yes,
Yeah.
some we have access to through the text doc. And it's not real time, but it's very soon, like it's last week or just a few days ago is the latest, right?
Because I was able to ask them about a particular date on a Friday and they were able to pull that up. Y'all were able to pull it up. Right. And that's some pretty neat information when you see, such as out here, we have Highway 32 and 281 at that corner. On a Friday, it's backed up 3 miles. And we were able to see that in that software. So I mean, that kind of information too, I think is really beneficial to the county at the county level for planning the future too. So.
And if there would be other information like that, that, you know, you would think it would be valuable, things like that for us doing this, just let me know.
Okay.
You're only dealing with intersections?
Not only intersections, also just corridors, but intersections are the highest risk areas. And they're also the areas where we can, you know, this funding can be most cost effective. It's more, you know, as we all know, it's a lot less money to improve an intersection than it is to improve miles and miles of road. But not just intersections, also corridors as well.
Well, the issue is on 165, which is a thoroughfare between San Antonio and a shortcut to get over to Austin. There's a couple of straightaways that, if you look at them, they're no longer, in my opinion, because I live on one of them, viable for that area because of the fact of how much traffic's on there. There was a fatality on Sunday. 2 people lost their lives on that hill because of stupidity, but also because there is a passing zone in an area that probably no longer needs to happen. So is that kind of research good?
Exactly. Yeah, that's great. You know, we have the data and we have those things, but that kind of like, you know, that local knowledge, things like that, that's exactly what. And even if these things are recommending, even if it's something smaller, like, you know, changing a passing zone, things like that, that would be great. Thank you.
It's a little surprising that you say Blanco County is 5 times more likely than 5 times worse than the other counties, because later in the agenda, the court is going to take up and hopefully agree to be the home for a DPS sergeant's area here. And took about 8 to 10 years to make that happen. And the response back from DPS for years was Fayette County, which is still in our Capcog region, just the other end. Yeah. Needed it worse, that more people died there, like on the roads. So seems kind of odd.
That is true. And that was historically the true that Fayette County was a bit higher than Blanco County. But since 2021, it's been the opposite. And now Blanco County has substantially higher fatalities than Fayette County.
Yeah, and I can add additional perspective to that. So our agreement, our transportation program is by virtue of this agreement with TxDOT, the Austin District of TxDOT. So when we talk about transportation in the CapCog program, we can only do it within the Austin TxDOT region. And although Fayette County is in CapCog's 10 counties, it's not in the TxDOT region. So when we're talking about and saying which counties are is the highest one in the CapCog area, I'm afraid we're not counting Fayette.
Charles, I need to ask you a sensitive question. I think you said earlier that not being in Campo is what's making us eligible for this effort. Is that right?
Unofficially, what not being in Campo is what we're basing our decision on focusing here. Yes.
Well, the sensitive question is, if we hypothetically were invited to join Campo, would it be strategically not a good idea right now?
Well, I can't answer that, but we're not going to ignore Campo counties here. It's just that our program's not funded, real well. So we can't spread this funding across 10 counties and do a very good job. So being able to use this funding and do the project for 3 counties is a lot better for us.
You're going to be able to look at designs that were, say, recently implemented. They're 473 to 281. Now, on one side you're coming around the corner, another side you're coming off Blind Hill into a traffic light. And then the design of the turn lane, and you have, it's just chaos there. Especially like Commissioner Weir was talking about,
on a weekend where just there's a ton of traffic, will y'all be looking into items like that as well? Yes. Okay.
You know, one of the last carpool meetings that we had, we were discussing the way things change so fast in Blanco County.
Mhm.
And if you look at some of the industry trends
Mhm.
That are finding their own corridors and stuff, and it's changing those statistics. It's pretty obvious. You can see some of that just based off of the different trends of industry and business, the way it's growing and where it's growing.
Yeah, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but roughly since in the past decade or so, the amount of truck miles in the county has doubled. The amount of semi-truck traffic has, so, yes. Any other questions?
What was the route you came out that wasn't as pleasant as it used to be?
290. Yeah.
Commissioners, anything? Well, we'll, I'm sure you'll keep us advised. We'll look forward to participating however we can. Hopefully the citizens of Blanco County get a benefit out of this, safety wise.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
Great, thank y'all.
Mr. Member, 2766, takes you. Take it around.
Commissioners, item 7 on your agenda, the interlocal agreement between CapCog and Blanco County for the geographic information system database management.
Make a motion to authorize the county judge to sign the Capital Area Council of Governments interlocal agreement for the 911 geographic information system database management for FY 2026.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 on your agenda is order of special election. I've been arguing with Ms. Adami and her lawyers at the Secretary of State's office, but it's easier just to do some things than it is to argue about them. So the proposed order is in your packets for your consideration.
I make a motion to approve the order of a special election amendment for constitutional amendment election to be held on November 4th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Sorry.
Commissioner Riley, discussion? All in favor, say aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, we need to appoint, is Rosemary here? Oh, their conference. Miss, I see Miss Lewis. I don't see, do you know if your counterpart is here? Because I don't see her.
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, do you have a moment to come up maybe? Just to make sure we're all on board on the same page here. Are you aware of the proposed appointments?
Yes,
You
I
nominated
nominated
correct?
them, yes.
Okay.
On the Republican side, I don't know about the Democrat nominees.
Well, there is a name. Have you seen the proposal?
The Democrat nominees?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, it's in the order of appointment that's being proposed. And there is a full slate, your side and their side.
Correct.
So I guess unless, do you have anything you want to say about it?
I would just say that each of these nominees have worked for the county on a volunteer basis to be election judges in the past. They're all excellent nominees, highly qualified, highly recommended by myself and Ms. Adame. So I would encourage the commissioners to approve at least the Republican side. That's all I know about. Again, just really thankful to all these individuals because our elections could not happen without these volunteers. And they put themselves on the line each time they do this because they are liable for what occurs in this election, in these elections.
The name, a lot of the names look new.
No, they're not new.
They're not new.
No, sir.
Okay.
They were all appointees from the 2 years ago, at least. Some have been longer.
Well, I know the Blaggs are not new, but some of
Correct.
the others look new.
No, they were appointed last time.
Okay.
And some have crept in because we had some that have had to resign for various reasons. but they have worked elections in the past.
Okay. So I guess I'll put it to the commissioners.
I'll make a motion to appoint the presiding judges and alternate judges for a 2-year term beginning September 1, 2025 to expire August 31st, 2027.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, I believe that everything is staying the same on the optional fees. That's the proposal.
I make a motion to check option A, no change for the optional fees for the motor vehicle registration for the calendar year FY 2026.
Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Eager, discussion. All in favor, say aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, the hog bounty. Carly.
Good morning, how are y'all?
Good morning.
I did want to take just a moment to kind of give a rundown on how successful the hog bounty program was this year. We had a total of 36 participants. We had 5 of those participants did reach their 59 tail limit. And I did want to mention as well, 3 out of those 5 are residents, and I'll come back to that in a minute. I did also conduct a survey at the conclusion of the program. We had 11 people out of those 36 respond. Those 11 people represented over 18,000 acres throughout Blanco County. On average, about 22% of each of those properties were affected by wild hogs. 2 participants responded that they had a total of 55 head of livestock that were affected by feral hogs as well. 6 responded that they caused either $0 to $500 in damage annually. And then an additional 4 people responded that feral hogs are causing $1,000 to $5,000 in damage per year on their property annually. The damage was reported to be mostly rooting up fields, destroying hay bales, damage to fences, and contaminating water such as stock ponds and creeks as well.
I think that is consistent with the ranch and farm magazines with the big ad that says, did you know that, they don't say wild hogs, but whatever they call it, do $1,000 of damage a day. I guess that's like a national average because they were showing a picture of one in a cornfield, so.
Yeah, and that stands up here in our area as well. I do hope that if we continue the program, we can do another survey at the end of it and have more people respond to the survey just to kind of see a better overall picture for the following year and compare the numbers to see how successful the abatement program is year after year as well. But on the agenda for today, I did want to bring up a couple of things that have come up during the program. One being the timeline. We did talk last year that we were going to take 59 tails per budget year. I'd like to consider the option of maybe changing that to a calendar year because the reason why we were doing the 59 was for the 1099 activation for those folks. And if, for example, if somebody turned in 59 in July and then they waited again in November for the new budget year to turn in another 59, that will trigger a 1099. So I don't know if we were okay with that, or if we weren't okay with doing the 1099s, could we maybe change the program to run, I don't know, January through August, if that would work?
I'm thinking January through August is a better option.
That sounds good. I can
Will
change
that
that.
work? Because, hunters in November, I mean, I have to make it work, but I'm just saying, it seems like we're missing a prime month.
Sure. So one thing to that, just kind of talking to different people, I did meet with somebody with the National Resources Institute through A&M on Friday, and we had a little bit of an informal discussion. I just had some questions on his opinion, how other counties run their programs. And then also an employee from the Texas Animal Health Commission. I talked to somebody a couple months back over the same topic, just seeing what other counties do. So some counties don't allow people to save the tails. They want them to harvest the hog during the bounty period. I believe some people might want to save tails if the bounty program runs January through August. And that would just be something that we have to put, or that I would have to put in the rules on that paper that I have them sign every week. Either saying, I harvested this hog during the bounty period, or we leave it out and it doesn't matter if they save them during the fall to turn in January.
I don't want to belabor this, but a dead hog's a dead hog, isn't it?
That's what I think too. I don't mind them saving tails and
Why wouldn't we just do it from January 1st to December 31st?
That's 2 budget years, Chris.
Right.
So you've got more money October to December. So then that throws you into having to create a 1099 on all these people.
A second 1099.
Well, no, it would be one, but it would incorporate both budget years, because it's the calendar year is the 1099, and your money's in the budget year.
You'd have to keep 2 sets of books, a county set of books and a calendar set of books.
I mean, it's just, you try not to have to do 1099s.
Well, I thought we did a 1099 anyway.
No,
We
not all
don't.
these people, no, because they're under the threshold.
What's the threshold again?
600.
600. That's why we,
that's why it's the 59.
But January to August will work well.
that seems to be what works. But I think Commissioner Leisman and I have, maybe I won't speak for him, you know.
It's just more paperwork. You've got to get your social security numbers, make sure you have a good address. Some of these people, we've noticed we have trouble with their addresses. That's all. It's just.
But, and I get that, and, you know, it's, making more work isn't the goal, but the part you just mentioned, I thought that these two had problems during the year with people maybe who wouldn't otherwise qualify, and if we had their addresses and their phone numbers and such, maybe it would be
Oh, it's on there.
better able to track them.
Well, their mailing address is on there, and then the address where they're hunting the hogs is on
Oh,
there. Yeah.
So is that a rule change that you've considered since we last talked, making it be a county resident?
Yes, I was gonna ask y'all about that as well.
Okay.
So just some more numbers to throw out. 7 out of those 36 participants did list a mailing address outside of the county. Impact wise, most of those people did turn in 30 or more tails. So those people did bring a lot of tails in.
the 7 or the 30?
Out of the 7, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think, my opinion, 7 out of 36 is a pretty low number. We wouldn't be cutting that many people out of the program if we did change it to residents only. We did have a little bit of an issue this year that Commissioner Leisman and I had formally discussed with suspicion that maybe somebody wasn't truthful about where those hogs were being harvested at. So the 7 participants that listed a mailing address outside of the county, 4 of those listed the same mailing address. So I think, I don't want to put anything that's not truthful out there, but I'll leave that for y'all's interpretation. The employee with the Texas Animal Health Commission did recommend changing it to residents only. He said that he doesn't know of another county in our district that allows outside residents to participate.
If a gentleman lives in Houston, but he has a ranch in Blanco, he can't participate.
I guess if he owned the ranch, that would be different, but the three that I had that were in that situation that they hunted over here and the landowner gave them permission to harvest the hogs and, hey, please go turn these in for me. They only turned in like 15 or 20 tails. But like I said, there was only 3 of those that were in that situation. And I think partially because we do the turn-ins on Tuesdays and people don't normally hang around that long if they're just coming in for the weekend.
Explain the other issue of not a full tail, a partially docked tail.
Yeah, so throughout this whole program as well, I've been counting and checking the tails. There was a couple of instances with those same 4 people that we had the address issue come up. They were turning in very teeny tiny tails. Per my conversation with the fellow from the Animal Health Commission, he said that in his experience that usually that happens when people are trapping and releasing hogs, that they'll just cut off the ends of them and turn them in for the bounty. So the last batch of those that I got, I did refuse those.
So you're exercising discretion.
I did the one time.
So I want it to be balanced here because yes, there's maybe some flaws and some people gaming the system and whatever. But in the end, you can say a whole lot of hogs got taken out of Blanco County this past year.
Absolutely.
Can't you?
Yes, so we did get all but 2 tails, so we harvested 998 hogs during the bounty program this year, which I'll round it up and say that it was 1,000.
What's your item C?
On is it the budget?
Budget request.
Yeah, so on our,
What was that? You said you had 3 points. I just assumed that was these 3.
yes. Mhm.
Okay.
On the budget, I didn't know if I needed to bring it up today or not. I just kind of threw it in there just in case we needed to discuss it. Our county trapper with the wildlife services, we did discuss that there is a high demand for property owners needing hog traps. He, I think, only has 1 trap, and he said that 2 more would be great. The trap that he showed me is kind of a smaller trap. He says that it works and it's easy to transport. Talking with the Natural Resources Institute program coordinator this past week, and then also the Animal Health Commission employee, they both said that maybe something like a Jaeger Pro would be a better option. That's kind of like a smart trap where it has the camera, you can attach it to a phone and get a live stream and actually click a button to pull the trap down. That trap does run, the basic trap package is about $3,000, and then it does also include or require a 55 monthly service fee for the cell service for the camera to be able to link it to a phone. If y'all wanted to consider that option, we talked about maybe having the ag classes, ag mechanics classes build us a trap. I did talk to both schools. One said that they are super excited, very on board to do it. The other one is also excited and willing to help us, but he did suggest that maybe it would be cheaper to just buy a trap outright. So I did, on our budget sheet that we turned in, I did request an additional $4,000 for to use toward a trap. With that trap, we could do a trap lease program. With the smaller trap, our wildlife services technician would be able to handle that. With the larger trap, like the Jaeger Pro that I mentioned, it would take maybe 3 or 4 people to move it and set it up each time. And I'm more than willing to help our wildlife services person do that. I don't know who a 3rd and 4th person would be to help us do that. Would be the only thing.
Blanco County would own the trap and loan it out? You
Yes,
said
and
lease, but
yeah, so on a trap lease program, we can set a timeline. Maybe they keep it for a month or 3 months or however long they need it for. We could discuss, do they pay a fee upfront to have that trap, or do we make it lower cost for them? Maybe they pay a deposit and get that deposit back. Just a couple of ideas.
but what you asked for in the budget is not the fancy one with the cell phone connection, or it is.
Could,
Yes or no? Yeah.
could be one.
Yeah, if we did the fancy one, we would probably only be able to get one with that $4,000. If we had the high school AgNet classes build one for us, we would probably be able to do two.
Sorry for my terminology.
No, you're good.
Okay, but it's in the budget request.
Yes. Also, little, not the hog topic, I did also put in the budget request, possibly doing a coyote bounty program. I know we've talked before about maybe not doing that because there's not that much of a need for it. I will say that when people come to turn in tails, they always ask about it, but we do have a wonderful wildlife service technician who is trapping coyotes constantly. He gets a lot of them. So I don't know, how you guys feel about the need for a coyote bounty as well, since they are being taken and they are being taken successfully.
There's no line item for anything like that.
Not currently, but we put that in our request for the AgriLife office.
So basically, this discussion is part of the budget discussion.
Okay.
And so if you have some questions or thoughts on it, now is as good a time as any while she's standing here.
Less than 16,000. Is the trap included in this price?
Yes, so I thought when we turned it in, we had spaced it out, but maybe we didn't. So I was thinking 10,000 again for the hog bounty program, 4,000 for a trap, and then an additional 2 for coyotes. But I wanted to leave that up to y'all if y'all wanted to do the
So it's
coyotes or
currently
not.
all in the proposition.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Now that
you're
she's-
currently requested. So
So
today,
go ahead. What's your opinion in this coyote? Would you rather just keep with the hogs and let the trapper do this thing on the coyotes, or?
I'm leaning more toward that. I don't want to make any enemies saying that, but I do think that I have a mixed opinion. I think that, if people are already taking them, that they might as well, get some benefit of it other than their property has less coyotes on it. But to that sense, coyotes are important in the ecosystem, and I don't want a bounty program to encourage an excess amount of force on taking coyotes and disrupting the ecosystem population.
okay, so that would be something to consider in the budget process, but today, I think you need action, possible action to modify the criteria in the 2 ways you outlined. So January through August for the pig hog program and restricting it to residents. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And I'm asking y'all's opinion. I don't have an opinion on this.
But if they, does this need to be a county policy? Do they need to vote on it? Or are you saying you're governing it?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's ought to be a county policy because
Okay.
the calls that I got were strictly to me, and they also called y'all's office, so.
I like that too, because it gives her some
Right.
guidance.
Yeah. So I will make a motion to modify the criteria for the hog bounty program to include the participation time from January to August, and modify the eligibility criteria to residents only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eager, discussion. If we went to September, it wouldn't bother you, would it?
As long as it is turned in before that last
meeting. And would September help you any?
Possibly, but maybe not. We have really slowed down, getting some tails in. There was kind of an increase, for a couple of weeks, just because they knew that it was the end of the bounty. They said, I've been saving these all year. Here's my 10.
Okay, so let's say we leave it January, August. If I get tails, and this is definitely hypothetical, but if I were to get tails in December, I can or can't hold them for you to January?
I would say yes.
Can.
Yeah.
Okay.
If y'all are okay with that.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Carly.
Thank you.
Before moving to item 12, I meant to do it at the beginning. We don't always do this, but we have a couple of new people on the Blanco County staff. And Ty, I may have already introduced you once, but we have Ty Walston, who's a new OSS, may become a development department. So Ty's now part of the staff. And then I think Ms. Sanchez is back there somewhere hiding. Yes. Ms. Sanchez is our new public information administrator. All right. Item 12, lease of Toshiba's for an additional one over in the county inspector's office.
Move to authorize the county judge to sign a lease agreement with Toshiba for an additional copier for the county inspector's office.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 13, the lease for the Department of Public Safety base here in Johnson City.
Move to authorize county judge to enter into a 3-year Texas Realtors commercial lease with TNT Land Investments LLC and the First Amendment to Texas Realtors commercial lease for office space at 208 Haley Road for the newly created Department of Public Safety Sergeant Area.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Weir, discussion. What did we determine for the 1 month where it's going to come out of? September.
We're going to take it out of the current lease that we have and
Okay,
possibly I'll have to.
you'll have to negotiate. All right, I'll figure something out. Further discussion, all in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 14. Oh, this is basically eliminating the additional office in the South Annex, opening it up for other uses because they'll be consolidating in the office that we just discussed.
Move to authorize the county judge to sign a contract amendment with DPS regarding the office space at South Annex.
Is there a second?
I'll say,
Commissioner Eager, discussion, all in favor say aye. And opposed, motion carries. Item 15, renovation of the South Annex, and Judge Hernandez is here.
Morning, Commissioners. So in front of you should have an estimate from Ariel Building Company in regards to a renovation project over at the South Annex, specifically to the clerk's service window. What we have found, I've been there a year or going on a year now, is that to conduct service with the public and the citizens that have business to conduct there, at times our clerks have to open their door and expose themselves in the hallway with sometimes disgruntled individuals who have received a ticket from law enforcement. We do have a window, a service window there at the moment, but it's a typical residential window. You raise it up and down, and it allows almost a 2x2 access. So if someone wanted to crawl through that window, easily they could do it. Currently, what we have to keep that from happening is a stick, a wooden stick that keeps that from fully opening. So what we're asking is to do a renovation to the service window. You should have some pictures in there to look at. It'll keep our clerks secure in their office space. It'll keep citizens, anybody that's disgruntled or thinks they may want to try and enter, it'll at least create a barrier and some security for that location. It's tempered glass. One thing that can be done to that, because bulletproof glass is extremely expensive, but there is a 3M protective film that can be added after the fact, which will help with safety and security.
I apologize for not talking. We talked about this, so I apologize for not addressing it sooner. It didn't come to my mind until now when you're standing in front of an open meeting. But typically, though it's not required to go through the bid process on an amount such as this, it's always, I think it's always been kind of county unofficial policy. It's always good to get a couple of quotes. Had you thought about, had anybody else looked at this or?
No, we've only had Ariel Building Company take a look at it right now. We feel very comfortable with his ability to complete the project. He has done some work for Constable Busey, and he comes highly recommended.
Is this something you're looking to get done out of this year's budget?
I'd like to see if we could get it done out of the courthouse security fund.
There's sufficient funds in there?
I believe so.
This protective film, I've dealt with it before. Is it in here too?
It's not in here at the moment. That is something that we had to look at to see what the builder could provide, and all he could provide was the tempered glass. But the film isn't difficult to install. It's much like window tint that you would add to a vehicle.
They'll be able to start on pretty quick.
That's something we're gonna have to look at with our dockets and, our scheduling. We're gonna have to pick out a time frame. He estimates roughly 6 days a week. So we're gonna have to block out a period of where we can accommodate him to be able to do the work.
We can make it available for him to be there during the weekend.
Yes, I mean, we definitely have to take into account that we do have voting season coming up. I don't necessarily know that we have anything scheduled right now at the South Annex. But that's something else we've got to work around.
Are you thinking this might either start or bleed over into the second fiscal year, the new fiscal year?
Yes.
Then perhaps we should make it all be in the new fiscal year so that we can itemize it a little differently on the courthouse security fund page.
Okay,
It's not that long. Yeah.
that's fine.
But the court could still approve your project today if they so choose.
Will that get you past the election day?
I don't think so.
What does that mean?
There's gonna be elections held in there somewhere where you can.
I believe so. I think there's one they're scheduling for November 4th.
November, so yeah.
So what we're having to do is we're having to rearrange and push out our docket a little further and kind of clear a period to be able to accommodate the builder.
It might be up
Can,
after that, right?
so they can't be, forgetting your court for a minute, they can't be doing construction and doing early voting? Because I thought they had multiple routes into the room.
There is a portion on, if you take a look at the quote here, there is a window that faces the courtroom from the clerk's office into the courtroom that's going to be sealed up. And that's going to be done away with. So I don't know which portion they're going to start with. And I mean, that's all I can tell you.
Well, it seems like you're the customer.
Right, we could definitely start with that. I just, you know, it's a demo and then a reinstall.
Your, obviously your request is to go ahead and get it done, the sooner the better.
Yes, sir.
Move to approve the renovation of South Annex Court Clerk Service Window. Fiscal year 25-26.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion?
So that's pushing until, that's pushing until October, which you're in voting season and you're not worried.
So typically, we schedule 3 months out for our cases, our pretrial, our civil docket, our eviction docket, all those. And so we're having to look at more than likely sometime right after November
That's when you're looking for construction.
is what we're hoping for.
So the whole idea behind this is, and that's why you're trying to fund it out of courthouse security, is more security for your people.
Absolutely, for not only for our people, but for the information that is contained in our office. Currently, if that window is open and they're doing business at that service window and there's paperwork, and if my clerk turns her back for a second, they could easily reach in there and take documents or get photos of documents. And that's definitely not what we want.
So I guess you wouldn't be very happy if you were housed in the main courthouse where it's a half door that's used to transact
That's right.
business.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with my employees working under those conditions.
During construction, are they gonna be working in that office too?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna try and, we've got to schedule it, but look at using the conference room temporarily to meet with folks if we need to. So the idea is to not have anything scheduled for anybody to come in and do business, but you know, we've got technology now, we've got email, we can do things by phone, we can do things like that. So we don't necessarily have to meet with them in person.
Because this is under the, you know, put the builder and not to exceed.
That's up to you.
I'll amend it to say, area of construction not to exceed $7,200.
And does your second follow that?
Yes, sure.
All right, friendly amendment to the motion and second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 16 is my request to reclassify jailers. Last month, we reclassified dispatchers. They were woefully underclassified. And we reclassified them to a 108, I think. And jailers are today 107. And in my own mind, the logic behind that was twofold. One, you have 2 certifications for a dispatcher, both jailer and dispatcher, or you have 1 certification for a jailer. Secondly, the supervisor for the jailers was 2 levels, 3 levels up, I think. Maybe. Getting confused. 110, it was a 110.
Sergeant.
Yes. And the sergeant for the dispatch was not. So I think that's another part of this, but for the moment, so my rationale was there was a reason for differentiating between jailers and dispatchers by a 1 class salary grade difference. I think the sheriff and Mr. Woodring and others in the room probably could better talk to you about this, but and even somebody on the court here could better talk to you about this. But my understanding is, and I'm going to be very indelicate about this. My understanding is that the difference between having 2 certificates and being a dispatcher pretty much equates to having one certificate and having to have feces thrown on you on occasion. And that and since the other job is frankly more dirty, they equate and they should both be at 108, and that's my request. Anybody want to clean that up and make it a nicer request?
Immediately?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's as clean as it gets, because you're gonna be, as a corrections officer, you're gonna be fighting, you're gonna be getting stood on, you're gonna be getting all kinds of body fluids. Dealt with.
I do want to add one more thing. It's the I told you so, because when we were doing the jailers last month, the dispatchers last month, I literally asked the question, is this going to cause any dissension in the ranks between the two jailers and dispatchers who work closely together? And I was told no, but I think I get to say I told you so, that morale is also an issue here. So
I move to authorize the county judge to reclassify jailers to a 108 effective payment.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Weir, discussion.
So that in return, give them a raise right now.
Yes. No. Yeah, yes, maybe. It depends on where they are on the salary scale, doesn't it?
But some will.
Some will.
Some
The ones at the bottom of the 107,
6
excuse me, they're 106.
or 6.
That go to the 108, we'll get a raise. There may be some that are along the pay scale on the 106 that would not. Do you happen to know the information on that? Or maybe somebody in the sheriff's office would know this?
Judge, can you make it effective in the new budget?
Yeah.
Okay, it's on the second page of changes that I did. I moved the jailers to pay grade 108, and overall, it increased the budget by $54,108.
That's not, for the coming month, that's for an entire year. Right? That's for 25-26 fiscal year.
Yes.
Okay. Further discussion?
What would be the downside to doing this as part of the budget?
I would prefer that the sheriff come up to address this, but while he's coming, I would anticipate that his urgency is about morale.
He is morale. They deserve what they're getting. We've hired one dispatcher since this has gone through. We're getting some hits. It's not going to cost, there's plenty of unused money to be able to cover this within this budget year. It's a very minor deal for a month and a half compared to how much money is in unused salary. And to keep the morale up, that is number one. We have lost 3 jailers so far. It is what it is. That turns over. It wasn't because of morale, but I don't want to give any other reasons for people to leave.
Sure, do you think it's gonna help morale?
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
gonna help
It keeps everybody as a team.
from being disgruntled.
Yeah, everybody is a team.
It's been going on a while, like I said.
Yes,
Your total jailer staff, not sergeant, not supervisor of any sort, is how many?
it should be, it's supposed to be, I think, 9.
And you
Could
have
be 10.
three vacancies,
I'm getting ready to have 3 vacancies as of now.
getting ready.
Yeah, one leaves now.
And you
When
have-
did we turn that in? Yeah,
and-
it's gone.
And 2 others are vacant.
Yes, James left. And was a very good employee.
So. This. Guess I'll ask hard questions. So that seems like you're on a slide, like the dispatchers.
No, not on jail. We're getting applications. And we've got backgrounds. We can fill those positions. Especially with this new incentive, pretty quick. Is what it is. The jails throughout the state, your detention officers are the hardest people to keep. And I've shown that forever.
Dispatchers are pretty hard to keep too.
Well, obviously, and throughout the state, they are too. But we've also dropped down to patrol is short. We are not at this point, but we were down to 6 in December. We've already seen the wrecks. We've already seen the traffic increase. We've got to pay them what they need, what they deserve, and be competitive with the job market, and be competitive with their careers. It is a career. It's not a job.
Seems like there must be different reasons for why jailers are hard to fill and why dispatchers are hard to fill. Because what I see in the jailer community is you got to put up with a whole bunch of things that some people just don't want to put up with.
Well, that is very true.
Whereas a dispatcher, you're walled off from that.
You got that phone with people screaming and yelling at you 24/7, and it's never good. They don't call you to say, hey, what a great day it is. It's never a positive interaction. It's negativity every day. In the jail too.
There's a motion on the floor to reclassify and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And while you're up, this next one is your baby. To increase the radius of the distance that a deputy can take a unit home with.
Yes, home.
And the question that I had was, actually it's a question someone else had. Is that mileage from the headquarters or the?
It's from the county line, air miles.
Air miles from the county line.
Yes, sir.
So you could live in South San Antonio.
Yes.
North, south, north.
50 miles, air miles from the county line, from 306.
You live in Austin.
I think I can go all the way to South San Antonio.
Be close.
And we would have it marked Blanco County.
We mark it. Yes, it's a mark.
Blanco County
Yes.
sitting in a subdivision in San Antonio.
Yes. And also, I mean, they have to be at a secure spot. I require that already. Whether it's locked at a residence or locked at a sheriff's office or highway department office, it's got to be locked up. But what that does is that'll be able to draw people to this county. It's a better place to work without much cost to the county, and they're on call.
They take their personal car to this.
Right now, they take
This other building in San Antonio or something, it's guarded or locked,
Mm-hmm.
and pick up their cruiser to come to work.
And if I could interrupt, I threw out San Antonio. Do you have anybody going to San Antonio?
No, I have some on the north side, yeah. What I'm looking more at is the Kerrville area.
Okay.
The Lago Vista, the 40 miles,
But you
the
could
45.
out of San Antonio, north side.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And,
Do you house somebody else's vehicle?
I house Travis County, Hayes County, we were housing, I believe, Gillespie County for a little while. But
So
yeah.
it's common practice.
It's very common. DPS has gone to 50. All the states gone to 50. I'm just trying to increase my chances of being able to hire, being able to keep what I've got.
Any motions? Okay. It's not selling well.
I just don't know enough. I don't feel good. I don't know enough about it, Sheriff.
Okay.
I mean, you know, if a young guy comes to work for y'all and he's got a cruiser, he can't live in an apartment, right? He's got to live in a house.
No, he can live in an apartment, anywhere, as long as it's a secured area. He's able to either secure it or it's a secured area.
So for that deputy, then you go somewhere where it's a secure parking area there around him, somewhere.
Or his
And
home.
y'all make an agreement with that place to park that car. I mean.
Do we?
I mean,
Yes.
that's what I'm asking, yeah. It's
If it was
agreement.
beyond 50 miles or 45, my suggestion was 45. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they do now.
Yeah.
I have several that live further than that. And that's what they do. It has to be an approved spot.
Okay.
There was a dialogue, I'm not sure if it's connecting, is a gated apartment complex
Yes,
a secure location?
Yes, your residence is a secure spot. If you can lock it in the garage or you can protect it on your own or bring in your stuff into your home on your own, that is, in my opinion, a secured spot.
Okay.
And like I said, I think I've got 2 right now that do that. They're like 5 or 6 miles more than the 37, and I won't let them do that.
Yeah, any problem with vandalism?
No, never has.
Spray paint your car?
No.
So you house a Travis County vehicle here? in
Yes,
Johnson?
at the parking lot, and then I think Blanco does too, Blanco Police Department.
And where do those people live?
Some of them live in Gillespie County. Some of them live towards Llano.
And they work in Travis County?
Yes.
And what's the Travis County rule? Is it 45 or 50?
I think there's 50.
Couldn't be 30, I guess, and be in Johnson
No.
City.
I'm just trying to keep up with the demand. And that's what the other state and the other counties are doing, to be able to accommodate employees. They can't afford to live here.
And you've got Blanco deputies doing that right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, like I said, I'm trying to attract new and keep old. And I just think that's working with what I've got, and hopefully get more experienced officers move this way that are more qualified.
So, I think I'll disclose for everyone's interest that when we had this discussion, my issue is, when I came here, we were budgeting, I don't know, 1 or 2 cars, and now we're budgeting more cars. And I realized that county-owned vehicles, whether they're commissioners or deputies or whatever, they get miles pretty fast, faster than I put miles on.
Right.
And so I get that, but this seems like we're really gonna add on a bunch of
See,
miles.
and I don't think so. The miles are put on patrolling the county. That's where 90% of your miles come from. If we had 20 miles a day for four days a week, they're 80 miles. Well, they do hundreds miles a day here.
We even do 100 miles a day for a cruise of 50 miles one way.
Yeah, you could. Right now, there's none. I mean, there's none. And like I said, I'm asking for 45. But I'll kind of increase, especially if it would help with what I've got now. But what I'm trying to recruit is the 45 miles will make it work. But I have to have some recruiting leverage, and that is one of them. And I'm recruiting towards people that are taken from here.
Okay, so Fredericksburg, I just drove it the other day and noticed that it was 28 miles essentially from here.
Yeah, from here.
To the cattle sale auction, so it's
Mhm.
Highway Street, 28 point something miles.
Right.
And that's not a straight line, but it's pretty close.
That's pretty close, yeah.
So that's within the current.
Yes.
What about Kerrville?
Kerrville is about 7 or 8 miles off.
And I'm sorry,
Ingram.
I just miled it from here, but I didn't mile it from the other side of
County
the
line.
high where the county line
Right.
is. So Fredericksburg is way within current.
Fredericksburg is, yes.
What about Kerrville?
No,
How close is it to being,
about 7 to 8 miles.
to the current? So like 37 or 38 would have got you there.
Yes. People also, I mean, I'm
First time? I said from.
yeah, I know where you're talking
From
about.
high, but probably whatever the southwest corner of Blanco County is the closest, right?
Not too well,
Kerrville, straight line to Kerrville.
yes. No, it's gonna be, it'd be up there at high,
So how long does it take to get from Kerrville to Johnson City?
an hour.
So if that deputy is on call, that's 1 hour away.
It makes it, that's why I was saying 45 miles. If he's 45 miles, at the most, it takes him an hour. They have to be here and respond within an hour.
I think his question is, that seems like a long time for a response.
Right. Well, but you're also putting Kerrville as the max. I'm not having Kerrville as the max. I'm having 45 air miles is what I'm asking.
Okay.
Kerrville's 60.
60 air miles?
No, it's not 60 air miles, but it's about 48, I think, 47.
To the city of Kerrville from the county line.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't looked, so I don't know.
Do what?
I haven't not looked, so I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, it just expands my recruiting area and retention area.
Well,
Can we table this?
why not? You want to make it part of more about budget?
Or I'd like to do a little bit more research to kind of get a better idea of exactly how far that is and.
So that sounds like what Commissioner Weir was saying was this is new to him and he wanted to digest it.
I mean, there's pluses and minuses to it. If you start putting the mileage
Absolutely.
together and you look at a real year
Right.
and add that up, and plus I look something in the back of my mind is liability. And if is he in danger in another city? And there's things there that kind of on my mind.
Since there are no motions on the table and unless there is an objection from the court, we'll just pass this item for now and relist it.
Okay.
Thank you, Sheriff.
So that takes us to the last day to submit purchase orders, which we do every year to notify county personnel what they need to do to keep the finances flowing. September 12th.
I move to make September 12th, 2025, the last date to submit a purchase order request. Oh, is it? Okay. Then we're good.
It's the law.
It's the law.
Everybody happy? We could have made a
Oh, yeah, I'll
motion.
take
Are
it.
you happy? Do you want a motion or we could call, just telling the world this is the day?
Just information, okay.
There you go. Takes us to item 19, which is a replat.
I'll take that one. This is a replat. It's fairly, nothing surprising about it or just, it's, in the Red Oak Mountain subdivision, lots 18 and 19. And they want to merge them together to a new lot. So I'd like to make a motion to merge 18 and 19 together, Red Oak Mountain subdivision. The new lot will be known as 18A.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner, your discussion. All in. Let's check it.
What's, are these two locations, are those water wells?
No, there's setbacks. Oh, yeah, for well, yes,
That's just a water well on, there's two water wells already on this.
yes, there are.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 20. So the plan, my plan is to discuss everything I want to discuss today. And then we will have public hearings on both the budget and the tax increase on the next Commissioners Court meeting day, August 26th. And you'll have another opportunity to press and discuss the budget. And then ultimately, the plan today is to adopt a budget and a tax rate in that order on September the, say, whatever the regular, okay, regular Commissioners Court meeting in September is. So the 26th is sort of the final cut at what we want to do. And there's some things we can talk about today. And by the way, I'll say this again, but the current proposed, my current proposal for the tax rates do not require a hearing. We're under the no new revenue rate for M&O. So, but I'm assuming, unless somebody on the court violently opposes it, I plan on just having both hearings, both the budget hearing, and that's the hearing that is not required. Excuse me, the tax. I think the budget hearing is not required. Now I can't remember. I cut it back. I may have it backwards. But at any rate, we're going to have. I plan to have both hearings, public hearings anyway, unless there's a problem. The sheriff, let me see, we have 2 or 3 people that want to ask for some things. I think the constable, precinct 1 has a request. I think the sheriff has some things we want to discuss. And then there are 3 pages of things that my office has done since the July 22nd meeting. And a lot of it is in reaction to the July 22nd meeting. And I think you have those 3 pages in your packet somewhere. And I wasn't going to go over all of them, but I would like to touch on a couple of them. On the 3rd page, it talks about moving jailers to a pay grade 108 and increasing salaries. And I think we did that. Down toward the bottom of the page, it also talks about adding an IT and admin to grade 117 and IT support to grade 116. And the idea there being on the IT admin that we, I feel like we can acquire somebody for that slot at less than what Burnett County took $115,000 to attract of the IT administrator, and I think we can maybe do that for a little less because we just don't have as much infrastructure as Burnet County. And then the other one is just a placeholder depending on what the study group recommends and what the court decides to do. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so Sheriff, whenever you're ready, we can start talking about your things, I think. One of the things that we've done is to increase Taylor and Ruiz, both sergeants, right?
Yes, sir.
We were proposing increasing their salaries, because they are sergeants, over their, well, Ruiz is, dispatch, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Taylor is jail. And, but we're making them both 109, 110s.
110.
110s. And equalizing their salaries
Yes, sir.
as supervisors in your law enforcement center, grade 110. So that's another thing that's being proposed. And then down at the bottom, this is one that I think we asked you about, I'm still not totally clear on. 2 brand new deputies, just sworn in, just out of the academy, and their salaries aren't the same. And one has a whole lot of dispatch experience, and the other one does not. But I thought everyone was on the same page that while we value experience in a discipline, we don't take dispatch experience for a patrol position.
Right. We take time with us, which should be considered. But that's the only thing that should be considered, in my opinion. It's a whole new profession. I sponsored both of them. One of them out of jail, one out of dispatch. And they're gonna make great deputies. But they need to start at the same, in my opinion.
Say that again.
They need to start pretty equal, but
they're not.
I know, and I asked for them to be.
So my question is, which one are we going about?
Nut and,
No, I'm talking with the common, which one of these new deals are we going by, the one you just handed us?
This is, what I just handed you, this is what he is proposing.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're not going by what?
In your book.
So the first thing, there's some specific things that I think you're just gonna have to talk about.
okay,
The first one is your angst over the patrol deputy pay.
right,
And it currently sits in the proposed budget that's been published at 59 something, 59.8, 59.6.
59,564.
Okay.
What I was asking is 74,720. And that's the average,
As a base pay.
yeah, as a starting base pay.
Right. And is it okay?
Yes,
Okay, so the rest of it is, if you take out Travis County and Hayes County, you probably should have took out Comal County, but you take out Travis County and Hayes County, then the average turns out to be 64,810.
64,818, I think, or 62.
62,8, what I wrote down was 62,814, but I think I transposed numbers and it should be 62,841.
Okay,
Now,
and I agreed to.
and that's
we-
the average of Llano, Burnet, Comal, Kendall, and Gillespie.
and Lennon.
I said Lennon.
Okay, yes.
And I noticed that it would be about $600 higher than the average, or excuse me, $600 higher than the starting salary at Vernon. But for my own purposes, and I'm gonna leave you to convince the court, but for my own purposes, this number that is listed here for Vernon, the starting pay, all of these starting pay is today. Right?
Yeah, last year's. Budget.
So we don't know what
Right.
their starting pay is gonna be October the 1st.
No, sir.
Much chance it's going down?
There's no chance it's going down. I've heard that Llano is going up extremely, a large amount. Gillespie County is going up. And I know Vernon's going up.
So despite the fact.
And
that-
Hayes got a huge, but we took Hayes out.
So to cut to the chase, even though you wanted, almost 10,000 more, a bunch more than this number, you are willing to work with the 62,841
Yes, sir. As a beginning,
as a beginning salary.
a beginning with no experience, yes.
No experience, no certification, none of that stuff.
Yeah, the TCO certified, but yes,
Base.
yes. Right out of the academy.
Where do we put in the piece about you letting, I guess that's later. We're gonna talk about Senate Bill 22 money and.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you had the new SRO officers at 64,720.
But we want them to be the same as a regular patrol. They are a regular patrol.
Yes,
Okay.
but my regular patrol should qualify for the brand new ones are here. And they've been here over a year. So they would get I think they should get the $2,600.
Okay, so you want to walk us through your other?
Yeah, wait, Robert, do you have that list we just finished? 'Cause I don't. How many people done that? Yeah, I got it. One of them is we have, I think we agreed on this, is on Jade Conaway, our IT
Jake Conaway is one of your two
administrator.
administrative folks who is not eligible for any Senate Bill 22 money and does not hold any of these licenses or certificates. And so she sort of falls outside the normal considerations.
Yes,
And
she's been here, she will have been here a year, close to it.
And we discussed making her salary.
2.4.
That's right. 50,
52,224.
right. That's right. We were using your formula.
I'm sorry.
We were using your formula. The
Yes,
1/5 for every year.
right. Obviously, Lee, makes those requirements too. Ellsbury.
Okay.
Then on, what I was saying on Cameron Wallace, Wyatt Brent, those are the ones that on this sheet, those are the ones that qualify for the $2,600. Now, William Sutton has over 20 years' experience.
2,600 to what? From, or added to what?
The 62.
Okay, so 2,600 plus 62,841 should be in the neighborhood of 65,414. Well, actually it won't because I said 41 and that's transposed from 14, but yes.
Yes.
Wallace.
Well, it's
How many of those are there that are, I see 1, 2, 3, these are those all SROs?
no.
Okay.
They're new hires.
Okay.
Or they've been with me about a year.
I'm seeing 7, I think. 7 people that you said are new hires, been with you about a year.
Yes. I'm just saying they're already employees. They should get the $2,600. And then with Morgan Cowser, she's got experience with the county, or she meets the percentage to move up in the survey to 67,867.
So what I'm hoping to get out of this is some commissioner input to what we want to put on the 26th proposed budget.
Right. And this is, a lot of this is what I'm proposing. I've also taken out $36,500 for the on-call supervisor stipend. And so
This is my next, I told you so, but you weren't here that
Right.
time. It was Chief Woodring. And I said, I remember saying, well, why isn't the supervisor the on-call? And I don't remember what the answer was, but we went through it and.
well, there were
and
several
now-
of us
And
on
now we're
call.
back to,
Yeah.
your explanation is there's a sergeant for every shift
There is,
and that's the supervisor.
right.
So the sergeant is on call.
Well, it wasn't before, but
They
I
are
used
now.
to when he went on, he was off,
Okay, but
if he wasn't on call.
now they are.
Yes,
And you and Woodring are always on call.
basically, yeah.
Anyway,
And Lieutenant Fox.
and the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're giving up the on-call line item.
Yes, sir. And the difference from what I'm asking and what was proposed at first is around 40,000. If I take out that 3,600. And I've gone over this, the more I can get the county to support my employees and pay them the going rate, the more that stipend goes to stuff I can use for the county, which benefits everybody in the county. It benefits this budget, benefits everything. And I think there is no way, I know there is no way to be able to fill every one of these unfilled positions within this next, immediately. So there will be a lot of money in unused salaries that could make that what I'm asking for. Another thing that I thought about, we can take a whole vehicle out of there. There's no reason for me to get another vehicle. And that more than covers anything I'm asking for. More than.
All right, I'm slower than everybody else, so just bear with me. So you're saying that taking out the 30-something thousand for on-call pay,
36.
that taking that out, but adding in everything in that column is handwritten numbers, that the bottom line is 40,000.
Around 40,000.
Additional dollars.
Yes.
Overtime payout or on-call payout, and you're taking your truck out.
Yep. I'm gonna do that. I just want to get this. I want them, my employees, that whole office, to make a compatible pay and to be able to live here and be able to stay here. That's still your number one investment as your employees.
So, question for you. What about Commissioners Court determining where the Senate Bill 22 funds go?
Well, you would see it.
No, I want us to have the final say so where they.
You already have the final say so.
Seems like you add to this account or add to this person or add to that person, and I don't have the final say so throughout the year.
If I'm trying to reach what I'm proposing, then that's less of that Senate bill that I need to be able to reach that.
Salaries, right.
Do what?
The salaries, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you asking?
So if Commissioners Court has 100%, where the Senate Bill 22 funds go?
Well, you don't have 100%. There's
That's
only
what I'm
certain
asking.
things that you can use it for.
I know.
Right.
I know, but as long as we're within those certain things allowed by law that we can use Senate Bill 22 funds for, we have the say so where they go, not you.
I make the request. That's the way the law is written. I make the request to the commissioners to approve. Chris, there's never been a time that I haven't tried to work with every one of them.
Oh, absolutely. So let me make sure I get, I understand how it's gone the past year, because it hasn't been in here. I thought that Ms. Witness and others and the combined effort, the sort of plan was, if you wanted to take some Senate Bill 22 money and apply it to somebody, pay them or require them or whatever, that's what you would do. And I can't remember, I want to say that we even made a deal that you would sort of give
Well, sir, whatever's left,
plan,
yes.
a list. And then whatever was left over by August, whatever, this was last year's money.
Right.
You had to do something else with it.
Well, we are, and we're taking capital line items out, taking stuff off of next year's budget, paying for them now.
But as far as this discussion goes, we didn't ask to be involved in the individual application of Senate Bill 22 money last year. I don't think, other than looking.
Yeah, we showed you we showed you what we wanted to do with that money.
Right.
And you either approved it or not, but we haven't, just like everything else, we have a reason to do it. And it's not one person or one position it could be a new position getting more money than others.
So I guess my question is, if you're providing us with the sheet that says, I want to give Joe $7,000 and more stuff is on that sheet, I guess that was our opportunity to say, wait a minute, we don't agree.
Right. You don't, you still have the right to disagree and it doesn't get passed. I have a reasoning for everything I do. I do not waste the money there.
I'm not saying you're wasting the money, but
I'm-
what I'm saying is, you know, if we was to go with your proposed, this
Mhm.
new sheet that I was
Which-
just handed when I walked in there.
Right.
Which I haven't had time to look at.
I know, I just finished it
So-
myself.
But I know that you're gonna get $350,000 for Senate Bill 22 funds for this coming up here.
Yes, sir.
So if I wanna take, if the court wants to say, we're gonna take and we're gonna purchase these 3 Chevy Tahoes out of that 352,000, and we take it out of our capital expenditures, we have the right to do that, and you're good with that.
If I agree with it. No, I have to.
You're
agree with it.
requesting the 3 Tahoes,
Yeah.
yeah.
If my other requests are made, I mean, we work together on this.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, you know, and like, I think the judge is trying to say, well, let me say it like this, in my opinion, I don't feel that Senate Bill 22 funds, it kind of comes and goes, and it goes here and it goes there, and I really don't ever know exactly where it goes. Right? But you've always said, you know, if you get my salaries where you need it, then we can use that Senate Bill 22 fund for capital equipment.
You're right.
And
The
so if
employees
we
come
was-
first.
If we was
always.
to provide and approve what you just presented us on this sheet today, we could take 350,000 and use it to wherever it requires by
What I'm
law.
saying is if you can get close to what I'm asking, the closer you get to what I'm asking, the more Senate bill that can be used for other things besides, like capital equipment.
But he's telling you if we get you to what you're asking for. He's saying if we give it all to you, right here on this sheet. That's what he's saying, not if we get close, not if we.
Let me help you out. Because I don't want anybody to go away saying, oh, well, he misrepresented. What you want is not these numbers. These are the compromise numbers, the 65, 414. These are numbers that I said, well, the average of these is this. What you wanted was 72. And until you get.
6478 for a beginning.
But you started out at 70 something. And I guess what I want to make sure is that we're not.
The 70 something I'm asking for is
Is
for
what you
those
think
with
is the
experience.
market
For an experienced officer, yes.
and what you plan on using the SB 22 money to get to?
No, I'm asking for it on these.
So if you've got these this way, you don't need any of the SB 22 money for salaries. That's what they're asking you, and I didn't think that was true, but sounds like that's what you're saying.
There's our officers with experience would need to go up. Our sergeants and lieutenants. Lieutenant,
Go up above and beyond what's on the page.
yeah, I have 5% written down.
I'm sorry.
I have 5% written down and they need to be above 5%.
What would that salary be for your 5% increase?
I'm trying to find, Bledsoe's would be 77606. And that's with a 5%.
Your starting salary for a deputy was 50, what'd you say?
I'm asking for the very start of it.
Yes.
It would be 62, 814, is that right?
841.
841.
841.
So but this is what you're asking for, this sheet that was just presented to me today.
This is gonna probably mess some things up, but I just want to mention some of the other agencies, what their starting salaries are. Right now, 2025, DPS starting salary is 55,440, goes up to 70,000.
After their 6 months.
Yeah, it's 55,000.
They're not a commissioned officer.
ICE, 48,000.
They're not a commissioned officer until they finish the academy and they're paid that while they go through the academy.
Tops is 77.
I'm sorry, who?
ICE, tops is 77. We started 48, FBI, 51,000, goes up to 66,000. Homeland Security, 48,000, goes to 72. Department of Homeland Security, 48,000, goes to 61. So you're very competitive with all these folks already.
Well, I have to be, and I want you to relook at those numbers. For one, they have giant sign-on bonuses, both of them are ICE and Border Patrol. I mean, giant. They also are not commissions. That's to get them through the academy. Once they get to that academy, they continuously make steps until they retire, continuously. There's not a DPS officer out there with less than 2 years that's making less than 100,000 a year. Not one.
So I'm pretty sure I'm getting, the message that this needs to be further digested, and unless we meet again before then, I'm expecting on the 26th, 26th or 26th, that Ms. Harrison will have a column so that the court can decide if they want to agree with your proposals or not.
Okay.
Something I want to mention that's going to be really unpopular. I was thinking about it in the last 24 hours. I think you could be at full employment, because we talk about how hard it is to compete and to get people in Black County. I think you could be at full employment in every category if you weren't so picky. And
that's probably very true.
And,
let
me stop. And I think I'm actually on your side on pickiness, because that translates down the line to fewer lawsuits, fewer civil rights violations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And a more experienced, better operating unit. So I agree with you, but it is a trade-off. I mean,
it's a major trade-off.
If the people in the room want us to have $45,000 and $48,000 starting salaries, you could probably fill the slots with just somebody.
Yeah, I could lower my standards, and if I lower my standards, I lower the standards for the county, and I won't do it. These people deserve better. The people of Blanco County are great people, and they deserve better. And we do, but the employees need to be able to be paid for as good a county as this is. They need to be able to work here and be committed to here, not looking for the next job, not looking for the next higher paying job. They need to be here because they want to be here, because they work for a good office, and that's your number one investment. I've hired a lot of people that I've had second thoughts on, and we've had to let them go. Who does that cost? It costs me, it costs the county. And that's not a good investment. And so I'd rather go shorthanded with back pay every year, unused salaries, than to have somebody that doesn't deserve to work for me. And for y'all and for this whole county.
Connie, was there anything else on these pages that involve the sheriff that we need to talk about, or can you take a rest? That's what matters. Is there something, Okay, is there something else?
This is the page that I gave you.
Oh. What if I can't find that page? Oh, so commissioners, these are some things, yeah. In general, number one is that for the first time, and it's probably based largely on someone in the audience, but for the first time, I included my proposed salary in the proposed budget. I don't like it. I don't want to vote on it, but the allegation would be that it wasn't transparent, that because you all come along after the fact and we do all the salary increases and then you include mine. And so I included it as a proposal, but I'm not happy about it. But that's why it's there. And that's why it's a change from the last many years. As for item 2 is Sheriff Jackson, and actually his minimum should be 101,477 according to our salary schedule. There's a list of 10 things on here. Is this, this is a brand new list that we don't have published yet, right?
Right, nobody's-
Yeah.
Is it 101 or is it 98,895?
That's, you're looking at this year's column,
Pay grade 118.
but he's in the wrong pay grade.
When did that change? Or has it always been like that? Sheriff was on there twice? Don't remember.
It's also peculiar in that the sheriff and the county attorney, there may be one more, but not all elected officials are even on that,
There's no more.
the one at the bottom.
It's the sour syrup.
Ours?
The entire sour syrup.
So I have 9 other things, or 8 other things, if you, unless you want to discuss that one more. Public defender needs to increase based on a budget that we just received in August.
Which page is that?
It's in the judicial, isn't it?
26.
Needs to go to 77,678.
Who is that?
It's the public defender's office, the one that represents Burnett, Blanco, San Saba, Llano, San Saba and Llano counties. So 77,678 is our share of all of that. Loosely based on population. The next one is LAC radio request to be move from capital.
Peg with it with Senate money.
$25,300 will not be part of the capital equipment budget. It's 3 radios, right?
But you're wanting to pay with that through Senate bill this year that you
Mhm,
currently
right
have?
now.
Okay.
The next item is the bailiff for courthouse security. There hasn't been an increase in a while, and Neil does a considerable amount of work, especially this year. There's been the capital murder, and there's also been a murder trial, I think.
There was several murder trials. A jury trial period takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, we're not even talking the civil side, and he does those too, doesn't
He
he?
does those two.
Yes.
What are you proposing now?
The budget would be 18,720. He's never actually claimed all those hours. And then number 6 is the one that is the sheriff, we already discussed, Ms. Conaway, moving up 2,363. And then the next one is Constable Fisher. The next 2 are Constable Fisher's. I want to wait until we're done with the sheriff because he needs to he needs to discuss it with you all.
So on Conaway, you're proposing the 52,224 total?
Correct. And the last 2 are deletions, and the sheriff already mentioned these. He wants to delete 36.5 from basically eliminate the on-call supervisor stipend and take 1 vehicle out of, I guess, his vehicle, out of capital equipment. Did you just write those today? Because they're in ink
That was
today.
right at this talking. My question on that, will that include any accessories?
All of
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to just take the accessories divided by 4.
Was it split out in the original proposal?
them. I think it was because it was the Dodge pickup. I'll have to look. It was the Dodge pickup. This is the only pickup on the list.
So that might be everything we have for you.
Okay.
And Constable Fisher needs to come up to discuss a certification pay increase and a salary increase. Is there more? Do you have more in your letter that they were reading earlier?
No, well, I just basically have, no.
Okay. Well, then take off on either one of those you want to talk about.
Regarding the proposed budget concerns for my chief deputy, Justin Chase salary for FY 25-26, her current salary stands at 56,964 for FYE 24-25. And the proposed salary for FYE 25-26 is 59,964. I'm requesting, due to his length of time in service as a Texas peace officer and his achievements of a master level peace officer certification through TCOL, that his certification be adjusted accordingly to $2,800. Now, I thought it was 24, but I had some conversations with some individuals here, and I'm not quite for sure if it's 24 or 28. Just the way that it was lumped together. And if it's 24, I mean, I'm fine with that.
For this current year, I don't think we're requesting it to be raised, but right now, certification for a master is $2,400.
Do you have any notes on?
And it's in that round packet that the sheriff's office gave out. I swore that it just said 2,400.
No, I'm saying on the proposed budget, did you make any changes or notes?
No, what Constable Fisher originally asked for was just $1,000 for certification.
I mean, the sheriff's budget. Does it show something there?
There's just all lumped together as one huge dollar figure.
Okay.
I asked for certification pay. I didn't know how much, what was what.
So the question is do we go from, on certification pay from 1,000 to 2,400?
Yes. That's, yes.
You can have it back, just.
No, I just want this.
Oh.
And I believe this has a, okay. Has a broken out by the sheriff's office. Sheriff's page. What sheriff were requesting was certificate pay 50,400, and you have 18 master certified at 43,200. Calculations correct, that was 2,400 piece.
That's right.
Okay.
$2,400 is what you're asking for certification.
Yes, sir.
To be like,
Be like everybody, every other law enforcement officer in the county, well, as far as it's employed by the county.
okay, and your next one is,
Chief Deputy Chase, he's had 12 years of prior experience as an extremely decorated law enforcement officer and with the Houston Police Department. He's achieved numerous awards, 10 supervisor commendations, 7 citizen letters, hostile engagement recognition, life-saving awards. And to boot, he's had 0 complaints with HPD in those years of service. Working in some very, very tough areas. I've requested in my proposed budget parity to the current understood proposals of the sheriff's office. And I sat down with Connie yesterday and kind of like tried to gauge where everything was at. And from my understanding, like with 5 years of experience of a base salary, ranging from 58,964 to a maximum of 69,635. Under this model, parity, meaning equality, would place Chief Deputy and his years of experience at the highest end of this.
yeah, but the only thing, the only word that I quarrel with you about is you said the max, and actually it's the midpoint,
Okay,
right?
yes, I guess. I'm not quite understanding where everything lies with the sheriff's office, because it's kind of
Well,
confusing.
they use the midpoint for purposes of that experience calculation,
Okay,
not the end of the page, not the max.
okay, with 5 years of experience, correct?
Yes.
Which, under my understanding, that's like $2,134 per year. And he's got 13 years of experience.
Well, and true enough, and you're asking for the midpoint for Officer Chase
Yes,
because of all of his years of experience.
yes, sir.
Because 5 years is all that, we have a deputy that they recruited from El Paso. I think he's got 22. He has a lot of experience.
Correct, I know.
And we didn't pay him for 22 years experience. We paid him
No,
for 5.
I get it, yeah. And all I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get my one person equal to the rest of the county's salary.
And some, you just want the midpoint for officer,
Yes, sir.
69,635.
Correct.
All right.
That's it. That's what I got.
Anybody have questions or comments? Thoughts?
So is there a formula to keep this uniform across the board?
Yes, the formula is the difference, you take the difference between the starting salary and the midpoint for that particular grade. For a patrol officer, that's a 109. And then that number, whatever it is, you divide by 5. And for every year of experience up to 5 that the person has when you hire them in, you add that much to the starting salary. So if they have 5 full years of applicable experience, you'd start them at the midpoint. If they have 6, 7, 8, 9, you'd still start them at the midpoint.
So I guess my comment to that would be keep it uniform across the county for 109.
That's all I'm kind of really asking for. I'm trying to get my one person up to basically what everybody else is at. And that's what I requested in my budget in the first place.
Right, and you shouldn't have to fight to compete with the sheriff's office, because if he's gonna pay more than Justin says, I'm gonna work for him, because I make more, and that's not fair.
That's
So let's
my-
just keep it fair across the board, call it a day.
That's my concern.
Good.
Of course, he is getting wealthy off of the vending machine.
Yeah, I don't know about wealthy.
Okay, so I think we've covered your things.
Thank you.
Of that 3-page list of changes since the 22nd of July, if there are ones you want to talk about or go over more, please do. The only other one I really think I want to draw your attention to is that I reduced the expenditure for 25-26 to 1.8 million from 2 million that was proposed in July. And that's certainly with the hope that there are no changes. Yes, ma'am.
I still have concerns about the announced budget for LEC maintenance and the South Annex maintenance.
So, those are 2 more that I'd like to mention, actually. And just in maintenance in general, there's an item in here that we increased to $25,000 for tools in the maintenance department. And that's based on the fact that she shouldn't have tools. They're using their own tools from home a lot. And so while it's 25,000 this year, we don't think it'll be $25,000 every year, but we need to tool up. And that's why that expenditure's in there. As to your comment about the LEC maintenance,
There's only 10,000 budgeted for tools. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. 45?
Yeah. 10,000.
It's only showing us 10.
Well, we meant to increase it to 25. I guess it doesn't say ED, it doesn't say increase, so maybe that was just to tell them that we were going to increase it to 25. Anyway, as to your thought about the LEC maintenance,
Oh, Judge, before we jump in that 25,000, that's road and bridge, 15,560,308. 54,308, sorry. Is that what? That was right, to match what Charles said.
okay, well, did we not, do we not have the change yet for? Okay, we need more. Melinda, it was more than 10, is it not? Or is it?
No, it was 10. Mine was 10.
Then the numbers are right, I'm misreading the categories. And we're trying to equalize the precincts, I guess. So, now, LEC maintenance. You've expressed a concern twice because we're way over in LEC maintenance, but we've replaced four air conditioners.
Yes, sir.
This year, that's not half, but it's getting close. I'm going on the assumption we won't have to do that many every year. That's why I was trying to hold it at 150.
I've got 2 working along right now. And one of them's gonna be a big price, and that's a huge.
What number do you want?
Well, the one unit alone was 34,000. 64. Yeah, the one was 34.
Okay, that's 90.
Yeah, the larger unit's gonna be large. And all the other maintenance. Right now, we're 12,000 over budget with August and September.
Mhm.
And I know that she's expressed concern about the AC units at the south end. Like the mini split that we just replaced in your office was $4,200. If the unit goes down at South Annex, our budget's only 5,000. And they're not mini splits at the South Annex. That's my concern.
Okay. So I get the South Annex, but I'm still have a little bit struggle with the LEC because yes, we are 12 over, about 12,000 over right now.
Yes, sir.
And gotta find the page. It's 20. Yeah, electronically it's 22, but I don't know what it is here.
Yes. And then another concern is since we moved all this to the maintenance budget, we don't have the bottom line cushion that we have for the non-departmental budget. So it's gonna push her harder, it's gonna be harder to transfer funds if we need to.
Are you opposed to? Are you opposed to putting it in maintenance?
No, I'm not going to put it in maintenance. I'm just saying if we don't.
I understand what you said, don't have to cushion, I get it, because there's not other things to help.
To help even
Offset,
it out.
right. All right, so we budgeted, we're 12 over this year, but we budgeted 134. So we're currently at 153, almost 154.
But what are we on non-departmental, but on other buildings, maintenance of other buildings?
$10,556 would be what we use for.
We budgeted 89 and we're at 47.
And we have
67.
And we have 100,000 budgeted for this coming year.
I just want to.
I know.
Make sure.
But to your point, both of those are moving to the maintenance department.
Yeah, they're both in there, but I'm saying there's, you know,
But they would have, that would be all.
Giving you a
to-
little cushion.
To support each other. So what?
Just bringing it up, Judge. What y'all decide to do with it is absolutely your decision, I just,
I understand that, but
it's hard.
when you identified 90,000 in 2 air conditioners.
what's your recommendation, Melinda?
I mean, I would push it some more because of the laundry unit is not gonna be cheap. Some of the other units are gonna be cheaper than the 34 or the 64,000. But the laundry unit is going to cost us, and if we have something else go wrong in there, we don't have the cushion. And the price on the justification sheet that I turned in did not include the 68,000 for the showers that we're having to fix in the cells. That was not included in that total
So
for maintenance, because we did not have that quote at the time that we turned it in. So my concern is if we have to, you know, we're using it out of that, then where are we gonna get the funds for if the laundry unit does go down? Because they are, you know, units that have been there since it's been built, they're gonna start breaking down just like the other ones did because of the wear and tear, because they are the age that they are from 2010 till now.
I think to expedite this, that, after this, Melinda, Connie and I'll sit down and discuss it, and, I mean, we're obviously looking at an increase, maybe 180, I don't know what the range will be, but
Yes, sir.
we'll give her a chance to, let's add up the numbers and have something to propose to you next time. And I guess to Ms. Strickland's point, it's gonna have to be a higher number. Did you have any others? Anybody else?
So I just want to come back to information technology, the IT.
Break. We're gonna break for 5 minutes.
There's no way right there. Just one other line item that wasn't on there. Right.
It's in here, it's in maintenance.
I want to know. Because that, yes, we're gonna have their whole district.
Well, we put it in maintenance, 7,500 in maintenance. So it's in the limits.
I want to refer to that. I just had it as a separate line.
Yeah, it's in the maintenance department.
It's gonna need a little bit of filling, and it's gonna get used.
Yeah.
Well, everybody
Do
wants.
somebody talk to you about the idea of BB gun shooting teams?
Nobody's talking to me. We definitely have some people that probably.
Yes, I don't think going to Arkansas, going to Arkansas the last several years.
Oh, our kids. You can't, as far as I'm concerned, they can be both that one. Christie, I've been friends with Christie.
Well, I told them to talk to you, so
They have.
well, maybe it was Adam. Maybe I said, okay.
Adam's ahead of the range, but if they want to talk to me, I can tell Adam he will do it, and it's done.
Okay, well, that's. Whoever it was, I figured out who it was, it might have been Tom.
Several. Ross, from the top. I don't think they'll make this,
So I really like
I've got a lot of applications. Yeah, so. Sorry about that. Robert sounded off one we had. Right? Oh, yeah. I got
That's fine. I don't see that's not operational already.
All right. I think we're ready to talk about the IT page. And you'll notice on the first line, very first line, you'll notice on the very first line, that's what I was referencing earlier when I said we have proposed slotting those positions. They don't show it on that line yet, but we slotted them on the pay groups page. As 117 and 116. Which is how I got to those numbers. I think that's like that number is not a starting salary of 117, I don't think.
No, 117 starting is 94,969.
Okay. So Connie tells me that in order to meet the newspaper deadline for notice, we kind of need to skip down to item 21, the tax increase, because it requires a vote and publication really this week if possible. And it also requires a what's the word I'm looking for? A record vote. Thank you. And because I proposed it, if you want, I'll make the motion unless someone really wants to make the motion.
So the question I have is if we change this budget in any form or fashion, is that going to affect that rate?
Not necessarily, because typically in my experience, when we've made changes, we alter the reserve transfer to make up for it.
Okay.
Up or down. But you still would have the liberty of doing it just because you published it the one way. There's a public hearing and the expectation, I think, from the law is that out of the public hearing, you may, and more discussion, you might want to change it.
Okay. I move to accept the proposal to consider the tax increase. And it's going to be M&O is going to be 0.347732. INS is going to be 0.0275 to be a total of 0.375232.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Weir, discussion? All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Salisbury,
Aye.
Commissioner Weir. Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Leesman.
Aye.
Commissioner Riley.
Aye.
All right. Yeah,
Please make that note for me.
we'll figure it out. Jumping back to item 20, we want to talk more about IT.
So with the discussions through the IT committee, and Rosemary's not here, she's in conference today. Our discussion was based on a hybrid approach, basically having an IT administrator or an IT manager, and then hiring an IT consultant firm that would have multiple employees to operate IT throughout the county.
And that'll cover the whole county,
That'll cover
LEC,
correct.
everything.
LEC, all the departments. So basically, you know, if you have an IT issue, hopefully the IT manager can handle it themselves, or they can push to an the contracting company that would, basically they would come in and they'd do an audit of our system. Kristen, tell me if I'm saying anything wrong, but they'd come in and they'd do a evaluation of our system. So they'd onboard our system basically into theirs. If you had any issues throughout the day, or however, you would make a request, kind of like what we're doing with our facilities. You'll be making a request, which would go to the IT department, and either the IT manager or the IT contracting company would manage your issues. So whether they do it remotely, they might be able to tie into your computer. I know that that feature has been taken away, but that's one of the features that has to be put back in place.
Would it not be beneficial at this point for the LEC to have their own?
So the benefit of having an IT company, in our opinion, is the knowledge and the experience of dealing with other counties throughout the state of Texas and having multiple people and always growing their IT knowledge, as opposed to being, as I say, kind of stuck in our little world. You know, IT develops every day. So, you know, there's new products that come out to change, to upgrade, to implement. And if you're only staying within your system, which I'm guilty of in my world, you're not keeping up with all the new stuff. And that's one of the benefits that we need to be really thinking about and moving towards, is getting caught up to our IT, to the rest of the IT world.
Chris, the only other thing I would add to that is the people we have talked to do tell us that they are CJIS certified, so that they are capable of working with the sheriff and law departments, and maintaining their systems.
I think that the notion of in-house and out-house coverage has the same goal as what's on the page to in-house people, and that is to try to do better than having one person 24/7. Nobody can cover the operation 24/7, 365 days a year. It can't be done. And the notion is to try to get better coverage. And then of course your argument is going to be that a big company with multiple people, you have a better chance of, you have not a better chance, you'll have better coverage. The downside of the hybrid approach is that they're not here, they're somewhere else, and when something goes wrong and Chief Woodring starts raising a fit because something's not working at the LEC, one side's going to blame the in-house people, and the in-house people are going to say it was these outhouse people that are handling whatever it is and that they did it. And you get that is a drawback to a hybrid approach, is you have finger pointing.
The ultimate goal of department would be that the IT manager would be the main selector in who the outside company would be, and they'd be working hand in hand together.
I would have thought we would be, because I assume the contract, if you want to put $95,000 in it, I assume the contract's gonna have to go out for bid.
It will.
Well, then I assume we would be ultimately deciding.
We would be ultimately deciding, but I would think that we would rely on our IT manager for his or her recommendation on the preferred vendor that we'd be choosing.
I think it's important to have a company employed IT manager where he's part of the county. And that he can represent the county when it comes to working with these outside people. If you're not happy with one of them, then he can express that to them and have another person come in. If they don't, if a particular department doesn't like that person, they can report it. He can send another one out there, but he's the middle guy between them and the county itself. I think we need to keep somebody in that position.
I agree, because I mean, I think there's everyday challenges and work orders that a one-man shop can do the majority of the work. It's not always gonna be, now, there's times that he's gonna be on vacation, he or she's gonna be on vacation, or sick, or whatever. So you gotta have that expertise and that goal, and maybe there'll be, there'll be more people looking at the system to keep and to make sure that we're on track to stay above the minimum of the IT world.
He'll be plenty busy with the having a contractor outside of there because of your advancements in hardware is moving as fast as the software advancements. And they have to be able to interface together. You've got to have a guy that knows the intentions of the county that can make sure that software and hardware runs like they want it to run. And whether or not it will run with a new version of software that won't run on maybe some of our older equipment. So we need somebody that knows all the model numbers.
Right.
All the.
And another project that the IT manager will be faced with will be trying to uniform the county as a whole on different softwares that we all have. Instead of me running one software and you running a different software, if we're all on the same page, we might be getting a better bang for our buck.
You mentioned that whoever's selected is gonna do an audit. So
They call it onboarding.
they call it onboarding.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference?
It's the same, I would say it'd be the same, but that was the terminology that was used.
So Sequel did the rather extensive audit in the past 18 months, 2 years, or it lasted 18 months or 2 years. We're gonna go through that process again.
I would assume that it would be less of that type of process and more of a figuring, just try to inventory. And I know our current IT manager or IT contractor has been working on assessments and trying to get exactly how many computers are out there and what the models are and everything else. So any of that information would assist in that onboarding process. So hopefully it won't be a duplication of efforts in that scenario.
He'd be the one that'd be responsible for all of your, keeping all the licenses, or at least up to date, or let people know, if and when we need to change that, or if it'll work with the existing hardware that we have, phase that out for the new hardware. So it's gonna take somebody, from the county side to do that, working with the, for the county in my mind.
So, what is the commissioner's preference between the two styles of IT department?
You asking each one of us individually?
Well, we already know where the leader stands. He's recommending one position and an IT contracting line. So I'm asking the other three.
So if you're asking me, if you've got a guy, again, one person, it doesn't, one person doesn't seem to fit all in the county. You have some people that like him, some people don't. But if you can have a
Can I
hybrid
interrupt you?
system,
If I can interrupt you, you're right. Some people like him and some people don't, but it goes bigger than that.
well, it does.
We're now at 100 people. I don't think a single person can.
No, we can, but a contract company can. They can keep up with 100 people, but with him, with a manager watching over, representing the county, and making sure that if someone's not satisfied, they can call him. He can turn around and send a different person there. Don't let that other person come back or whatever. You know, keep it.
Does this company that not a particular company you're looking at, but they send people on site if they can't do it remotely?
Yes, sir.
So just kind of clarifying what Tommy just said, if there's a personal issue with the person that's hired at the county to be the IT administrator, then a person from the company that you hire can be requested.
I think that the IT manager that we hire, would work through that scenario.
Okay.
Work with the same thing with IHR. They'd remote in and
Yeah.
back and forth, and we could take care of all of our security issues.
Is this why you were in Kerrville?
That's why I was in Kerrville. Can't do it.
And where's IHR?
Not IHR, I'm sorry, ADP.
Where's,
IHR was one of my companies there in Kerrville.
and where's ADT?
ADT is nationwide.
Yeah, but where was your contact?
My contact was Wade, John Wade.
Where?
Where?
Dallas,
San
Houston,
Antonio.
San Antonio. A company might have people that are certified to do security work, and they might have other people in the company that can help work on my computer that I don't need that, or something, so they're a little more diversified when it comes to having people that are available to work in certain departments, I'm sure.
One of these companies, Chris, how big, approximately how many people would be at our disposal, do you know?
I would say at the minimum 5.
Okay.
What do you think? The one out of, it does Llano County, I think he said there's 5. 5 to 13 technicians.
Technicians?
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing about it is not everybody's gonna be sick or gone at that time.
Well, I think one of the biggest pluses is, if they're dealing with governments throughout the state of Texas, local governments throughout the state of Texas, they're understanding the trends and the needs that we all have. So hopefully it's not just, John Doe IT department, and we're actually getting somebody that does this elsewhere throughout the state of Texas, and it'll be beneficial to us all.
What was did you have an amount for that line item?
95,000 was, and I think a lot of that would just be your onboarding. If we ran the numbers, I think you're looking probably around 60,000, depending on the amount of calls. One of the contracts that Llano has, I believe, they do it, they charge it's an hourly rate if they come out, so. And that'll all be during the contracting timeframe, of course, negotiations.
What kind of costs are you looking at hiring an administrator?
So on the administrator, all I can say is that the school district here in town, their administrator is between 80 to 85,000. And the Llano IT administrator, last year's budget was 60,000.
Talking about hiring a person in that spot, not the amount of money. we're gonna keep the one we have right now?
I think that will be up to the court ultimately. I think we should, go out to, I think we should go out to offer a job opening because it's a new position. And then it'd be up to the court to determine who is the, best qualified for that position. But I will say that our current IT guy, he knows our system. It was very beneficial having him in there in some of the meetings, with the outside IT contractors, because they could ask the specific questions and he knew exactly what the brand, what the style that I. So anyway, I can say it like that.
So you're saying with that, you still want to go out for, put in, an ad to have him compete with other people?
I think it'd be great to always keep your arms up or keep the doors open if there's somebody that blows him out of the water, but I mean, I don't know how many IT people are just looking for a job here in Johnson City, Texas, so I don't think you'll have a whole lot of people beating down your door looking for a job.
Be surprised.
So, and you might be surprised. I have no earthly idea.
Anything else? Okay. It appears that the general sentiment is to go that direction, so I'll make some,
Judge, can I say one more thing?
sure.
My opinion is to keep the man we've got in position right now and go, if you want to go out and find a company that he can work with, and then find out later that it doesn't work, then we can go out for somebody. But we've got a guy that's familiar with this, with what we're doing right now.
Well, I think my plan was that argument could be saved for another day, and what I would bring back to you all for the 26th would still have a position. How you feel that you can have some discuss.
Sure.
But to change one of the positions to a contract situation for this hybrid approach, because that seems to be the general sentiment among commissioners. So that's what we will see. What else?
Page 10 on your Department of Public Safety, office supplies, and being a brand new office, do we want to leave it at 500 or do you have a different thought on that?
That's actually just a wild guess, and actually, they should, my first reaction is that they'll be providing their own office supplies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So computer and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that was what mine.
Yeah, we're not even providing furniture as far as I know, but if we do, it's gonna
miles, that's why. So I think we're opening ourselves up where I don't want it on certain things. Once again, I'm open door. I don't care if anybody walks in and wants to ask me stuff, but don't sit there and tell me because of.
We manage our tools, we manage our maintenance, we pressure wash our distributor every time we use it. You can go to our yard right now and do an inspection through the whole yard. See, these guys take their time, they wash everything down, they store it. That's the way we have that machine running. And I'm fine with the way we're doing it.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the room like the judge did last time. And, let's cancel this iWorks.
What did I do last time?
You kind of read the commissioners as the way you heard. So I'm hearing on this side of me and on that side of me that this is not a product that they're interested in.
So when you say cancel,
We can-
there's two lines.
Cancel the 18,300.
And there's a 5,000.
The 5,000 will remain because that's still Melinda's facilities.
Yeah, I mean, if it works for Melinda, that's great. I think she ought to use it. But I mean, you have to buy an $18,000 package for her to use it.
Well, $18,000 covered the other
It
package
covered-
with it.
It covered everything.
I mean, I can see where there's departments where it would work.
So delete the 18,300.
Is 5,000 sufficient?
Yes, yes. And your 6,500 for your other program is sufficient, you said. Good. So next question is on page 50. Charles, this is your budget. What is computer operations?
Then we're going down, that's actually that number. Yeah, I can go down. I mean, it's just, if something happens,
I guess my question is, does it go to the IT department or, being
Actually, yeah.
computer operations?
yeah, it could usually go to IT, because it's just the computer, and I bought. That's when I got that thing, 2 years ago?
Sounds correct.
Yeah, so that came out of that back then, so I'm not even real sure that. Yeah,
Did we put that there because, I see it's been the same budget for the last 3 years, $1,000. Did we put that in? Everybody used to have it.
yeah, I just rolled it over.
Cause I noticed it's not in the others, it's just in his.
Well,
No, well, it used to be, everybody used to have a computer operations line item.
just stay in there.
I'm not questioning, I'm just wondering why they don't, why is
Because
it?
we've moved so much stuff to computer operation, people were using that for everything from purchasing hardware to, maybe printer, which would be really technically office supplies, but now everything, like, for the software and stuff, that's all consolidated into a separate, things are gradually migrated into different areas.
And his gradual migration is slower than the other three.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, yeah,
And then because they're not on pages, it's because you haven't been used for the last 3 years, so I hide those lines, because there's to keep connectivity. Yes.
but Commissioner Riley, I know that, on your recycle, if there's a computer line on your recycle, I haven't even looked at it. But I also know that the previous commissioner had one like that because he had a completely different vendor for all the cameras. And
That's on the cameras,
all
oh, yeah, and that would be correct.
computer, everything was run by a different company.
Right.
So he had a separate thing set up there to maintain that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but as far as under the road and bridge part of it,
Yeah.
that's just there. I didn't move it out, to be honest with you, so yeah, I can go over to IT and come out.
What's next?
107. Then, under 107, pay grade for, pay grade 24. We've been trying to get to that minimum and we still haven't got to that minimum. And we've been pushing 6,000 a year to try to get there. But this year it's cut to 3,300. Your item 20, pay grade 24.
What are you saying?
We've been pushing 6,000 a year to try to get to that minimum, capping it at 6,000.
Yes.
Then we're gonna continue that this year.
And the minimum is what?
87,144.
So, I was looking over the weekend and I noticed that Burnett County Commissioners only make in the low 60s. Llano County Commissioners don't make much different. And I question the salary study that says that Blanco County Commissioners should be in the 90s. So I'm wondering about continually bumping at 6,000 a year till we get to whatever number it's gonna be at that time.
I wonder if the lower commissioners, they get paid less if they're a unit system versus the way we operate.
Is Burnett County a unit?
I know, I'm asking.
They're not, they're.
Because
they're
they
basically-
do, then
I'm
they've
pretty
got,
sure that Llano County is not a unit.
yeah. It takes a lot of their road and bridge off of them.
So I guess I feel like a little more looking at comparables. I don't know that the salary study did a very good job. I'm not comfortable that the salary study did a very good job on commission.
So then the next question I have is, I brought up in my proposal originally for road maintenance, for a 106, to take your road maintenance separated from an actual just regular maintenance, considering the CDL and the heavy equipment operator and other benefactors. Is there any more thought on that?
And what did you call it? What do you call it? For the moment, let me call it a road maintenance 2, which means somebody that has more of what you want. What do you want a road maintenance 2 to be?
As far as,
classification.
that's.
Right now, the road maintenance is in 106, right?
Correct.
So are you saying you want the basic road maintenance person to move up, or are you saying you want something for somebody that's got more like a CDL?
I would think that I want the basic road maintenance to move up because all of them should have a CDL.
Well, should they? I thought y'all were having trouble.
No.
I thought I'd heard a discussion going on lots of times that it's hard, kind of along the lines of the sheriff, and how hard it is to get certain people to do certain jobs. Maybe, I'm just asking, maybe you don't need everybody to have a CDL. I don't know.
I think once you get a department that's greater than 6, maybe you don't need everybody to have a CDL. But when you're operating with a 3-person deal, or even a 2-person team, then it's pretty important to have a CDL.
Is that a state requirement or is it just per county? It's Blanco County has decided that everybody should have a CDL, or is it
I don't know.
state?
I don't think it's a state thing. I don't even know that the county is offered that. However, when you look at the equipment that you're driving.
It's a state deal in the sense of if you drive something over 26,000.
Well, yeah, I understand that, or you're out on the highway running, but if you're in a work site that is closed down in an area where there's a work site, can you work within that work site without CDL?
Apparently, yeah. You're not on a public highway for the motor vehicle. I mean, we're talking about
Like gravel roller or shredder or whatever.
Mhm. So what do you say?
I'm saying that that gives you a spot, if that's okay for a person not to have a CDL, then you can use them.
So you would want a basic road maintenance person category that doesn't necessarily have to have a CDL.
Yeah, because it might be a starter for a guy to get in there, then work on his CDL, then move to the next level.
But Commissioner Leesman should be able to have another category for a road maintenance person that does have a CDL, because he's gonna, like the sheriff, he's gonna want a certain level of qualifications and quality of
Yes,
employee
I understand that. Yeah.
to hire. Right?
Chris, are you saying like, because they're at 106 right now, just a road maintenance guy coming in out of high school, has no experience, no nothing, no CDL, no anything. He starts to work for you at 106, as he moves up, gets certified or a CDL and takes some of the courses that y'all gone through, I know, with blade work and stuff like that, and move them up to 108.
You could move them up, yeah.
What's your number? 107, 108, what is it?
I like the idea of that, Chris, if you get a guy to encourage him to keep with it.
I tried that.
It didn't work.
Quit, went to work for the state.
Well, yeah, as soon as you got qualified with it, yeah.
107, 108.
You retain him.
107.
So what would you want to call it? Because I keep coming up with road maintenance too, but I don't know.
I like that.
And basically, you'd have a definition somewhere in here that says what a road maintenance two is, so you know what it is you have to do to get
Right.
it.
And we could just follow textiles requirements.
Job description.
All right. What's your next?
That's it.
Anyone else? So there's various counties, or there's been a lot of chatter about burn ban, and the fire marshal has patiently waited through all this to talk about the burn ban with us.
So it's the recommendation for myself and the other 3 fire chiefs that Blanco County implement their burn ban effective today. The map looks decent right now, but if you watch the points increase, it's double digits every day. So by next commissioner's report, we'd be close to 600 for the drought index. And there was a couple fires. There was one yesterday in Round Mountain that crossed property lines, so it is very dry, starting to dry out. There's no rain in the future right now.
You're recommending
The burn ban
burn ban?
with the other fire chiefs and agreements.
Perhaps it's, perhaps to some people it won't matter, but the Fair and Rodeo is a fairly large county event, and I've witnessed bad fires in North County while the Fair and Rodeo is trying to go on. And it's a tough time, because a lot of the people that are doing fire duty are also volunteers at the fair.
Yeah, there's a lot of Johnson City firefighters that help out in the concession stand, running the show, the rodeo. So this is just provide a little extra protection, allow them to do this and not stretch resources thin for out of control burns.
So anybody?
I'll make the motion to put the burn ban on until September the 23rd, which will be the 2 courts from now, or 3, Donnie? 2, okay, 12 noon. Huh? 3? Okay, that'd be 3, you got 6 weeks. By then, maybe we'll have some rain and the judge can take the burn ban off between now and then.
Thanks for the pressure. Is there a second? There's no lot of discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Is there a motion on item 23?
I'll make a motion, we
Is there
adjourn.
a second?
Second.
Commissioner Weir, discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, we're adjourned.
I didn't use that, but raise my hand.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,